I entered the services September of 1966.
I registered for the draft December 12th, and March 16th I was inducted. I was in the Army.
I volunteered myself for the Marine Corps, and after that I got a notice to report back to New York. That was 90 Church Street. And from that moment on, we got aboard a train, went all the way to California, and from that port, we went on a ship, and from there on, we went right to Korea.
We headed toward this island, which was called Bikini.
Bikini, yeah.
Yes. And we were one of the ships that was there when they exploded the hydrogen bomb.
The war was very short, but the anticipation of the war was endless. Every day, misinformation being spread, the Iraqis are going to give up in Kuwait, the war's going to be over, we're not going to go. The one incident that let me know that it was time to write my death letter was when Hussein released the hostages. Everybody thought, oh, this is a start. We're probably not going to go to war. But I knew that there was no reason we can't bomb him now. And I knew we were going to go to war. So we had this thing where you write your letter home, you give it to somebody to hold, which I gave to you to hold, in case you didn't come back.
Well, they had rows and rows and rows of injured Marines and Navy people. And I was in charge of one of the Navy rows. They had 10 different sections to them, and each section had 50 Marines.
I went to Volks to learn drafting. Then I went to Carteret High School. I graduated in 2 years. I was class president, Central Jersey champ football player with the best team around.
At that time, I wasn't assigned to a unit. I was still in the infantry.
Okay.
From France, he took a train to Germany.
Right to Germany?
Right to Germany.
So you didn't
It took 2 days.
I left Carteret High School when I was in my junior year. And I went to Paris Island. And I got to Paris Island. I was the youngest one in my platoon out of 70-some guys.
Over there you became brothers because you watched each other's back. You had to make sure that, you watched their back and they watched yours. And it was teamwork, that's how you had to survive over there.
There's got to be another way to settle problems besides war. There's got to be. We're losing the cream of the crop. We're losing the cream of the crop. And when they come back, they're not the same people that they were when they went in. Some of them come back blind, some come back without legs, some of them are alcoholics. There's got to be another way.
All the troops hit England first. Nobody went direct. You had to retrain and go and join a company or a battalion. You got to get set because you don't come there trained as a soldier ready to go to war.
We were going unknown places that we weren't told where we're going. So finally, halfway out at sea, they told us we're going to Korea. So from that moment on, we landed in Kobe, Japan. All I know is that we landed at night. Next thing was daylight, and things that you saw, it was unbelievable.
Well, being a combat infantry battalion, you train as much as you can, then you get sent up to the front line. Front line was the demarcation line between Iraq and Saudi Arabia. This is where we were going to, I guess our assembly point was to jump off the war. This is when I found out what our battalion motto was. You know, no slack was my unit. And we used to joke around, no slack for Iraq. Well, actually, it was no slack for us. Because Thanksgiving, we were up on the line. Christmas, we were up on the line. New Year's, we were up on the line. Those people got to come back and see the USO shows and have celebrations, and we were picking sand out of our food.
You remember in the movie Civil War where all the guys getting home, walking?
Yes.
Well, these trucks, all the Germans were thrown out on the road. You go home and you got none. The house is banged down, you know. Yeah, I felt sorry for them. And a lot of guys I'd meet, we had a lot of Germans doing KP and all that, you know. And he says, I'm from Munich, how's it look? I said, there is none left, you know. Believe it or not, a town like Newark is ashes. And the worst part for us was walking. You go minefields. I saw a little kid's arm blow off, and the farmer doing for the summer, getting his land crops ready, and the goddamn tractor blew up.
In a mine.
Yeah, and one thing they told you, don't get souvenirs, they're all booby trapped. I wouldn't touch nothing because you come home with no arms and no legs if you do.